Hey guys, welcome to the fourth video or the second keyword research video in the series. I just wanted to touch on the um, search volume a little bit. I said in the previous video that you should ideally target a phrase with a search count of at least 3,000 exact searches a month. The reason I said that is, it is believed that about 42% of the searchers would click on the number one result. So, for sake of mathematics, let's assume that the search volume for the phrase you picked was 10,000 per month. Then you can expect about 4,000 of those people to visit your website. That's like 120 or 100 30 visitors a day, right? And typically they say for for ClickBank product you have like a 1% conversion rate. So that's if you are promoting a $40 product, a $39 product, that's like $26 a day, and it's like $750 a month, right? So that's if your search volume is 10,000. Now I have sites that I have one site that gets a search volume of around I get 3,000 visitors a month. I get like 100, approximately 100 visitors a day, and it makes uh, 2 to 3 ebook sales a day, right? So depending on your niche, depending on how laser targeted your key phrase was, your website was for the search that the customer was doing, and depending on how good your copy is, how good your copywriting skills are to convince the reader, and depending on how good of a job you do in reviewing the product that you're trying to sell, you know, that might change, right? So say if it's a extremely laser targeted buyer keyword, you just have to convince him a little bit. Even if you have like 30 visitors a day, you're bound to make one sale a day, right? So all that depends, commercial intent and all that. So when you say 3,000, people usually say, uh, uh, I have seen people saying, you should target one with at least 3,000 uh, searches a month so that you get 100 visitors a day. That's not exactly correct. You get like 40 visitors a day. If you want 100 visitors a day, then it has to have like 8,000 search volume per month. Okay, so that's a bit of um, uh, extra knowledge thing. So once I've selected my uh, key phrases, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask Microniche Finder to give me the exact domain availability, phrase count, and strength of competition. I think I already covered this in the last video. Sorry about that, I forgot that. So what exactly strength of competition is, I don't remember. You can always look it up, Uh, so when I ask Microniche Finder to do that, I the ideal phrase would have either the .com, .org, or .net available for the exact match domain name. The phrase count, the competition so-called, not exactly the competition, but what Google thinks is relevant to the phrase. Uh, Lower the better, obviously, right? But I go for anything around less than 100,000. I sometimes I don't even bother looking at that. But people say 30,000. Okay, so if you do find one with considerable search volume and 30,000, great, right? But I haven't seen those lately, and it really is not a accurate measure, right? It's so if it's like 100 million versus 30,000, it's probably, it gives you a gauge as to what the competition might be. But if it is, 50,000 versus 70,000 versus 80,000, it really is not that of an accurate measure from my experience. And then SOC, the strength of competition, green, right? So if you have the exact match domain, if you have a, a phrase count of less than 100,000, and if you have green or less than 50 strength of competition, that, my friend, is gold, right? Uh, of course, there are a couple more things to do, but usually if those are good, then the rest is also good. But of course, they don't come like that, right? Right? I mean, they are there rarely, but not often. So even if you can fulfill one of these criteria, I would be happy, right? So this one is good, but when I did a search on Firefox with I don't think I have it. I probably closed that page here. Yeah. So, but when you do a search, when I did a search on Firefox, the competition was too fierce. Okay, I want to show you another thing, right? So this is basically the variation of searches during the year, and look at that, highest number of searches in December and November, right? For flip video camera review. So even if you don't get that many, so that's why I said, the typical from my experience, the typical site that makes only $100 during the rest of the year can make a minimum of $1,000 during these 2 months, and you can see that that it is possible by looking at this. So right, so with this particular search, um, so these are the two other interesting keywords that I said you could dig into. So this was out when I checked it because the competition was too much, I figured. And then the one that I liked was this guy, right? Um, Green, very low competition, uh, less than 100,000. Okay, we are missing out on the domain. It's already gone, right? Um, but that doesn't matter, right? So as I all said earlier, it's not the best search volume, but if you're starting out, you wanna go with a relatively low competition phrase so that you don't the chances of you giving up even before you start are minimal. Okay, so what I did next was I took this phrase, flip video reviews, went to Firefox and did a search with SEO Quake turned on, and these results are great. The number one site is an exact domain match. See, that's so powerful, and it's according to SEO Quake or Yahoo Site Explorer. It has only got 5 backlinks to the domain, right? And it's beating sites, authority sites like Photography Bay. They've got 3,000 pages, 438,000 pages, Engadget, the flip.com PR7, right? So that's how powerful an exact match domain name is, right? So based on this, I think even if we can't, even if we cannot get a exact match domain, we can compete with this. So next, I went into this website to take a look at it, and I'm gonna talk about that in the next video because I'm closing up on 10 minutes. Thank you.